Tonight in Long Pond, Pennsylvania is the final night to determine who will be eligible to win the third IORA Cup Series championship, and it might just be the most intense race of the season. 40 laps at Pocono Raceway, and for the drivers who started this season off strong, take for instance Corey Lyles, your Daytona winner, and the drivers who went along all the way. James Thurston absolutely on a tear, Sean Conklin dominating until we switched to the next gens. And how about these guys up front? Aiden Walker had a great season so far, looking to continue it tonight. And drivers such as Mason Moriarty, Alex Anderson, Vincent Guecci, Corey Lyles, of course, there as well, Michael Deitch, Braxton Whitaker, and Greg Kalhoff, 13 of which so far looking to get the victory here tonight's 15th round of the season. And I, for one, could not be more excited. A lot of tension going into this one. 7 minutes and 50 seconds remain on the practice charts. And it is all coming down to who's going to be the fastest here. James Thurston currently the fastest by about 0.2 of a second here in practice so far. In second, Aiden Walker was, but Sean Conklin is, and it looks like Sean Conklin behind by just about 1/10 of a second as he is parked inside the infield grass here just out of the pit exit. By turn one, the driver of the 54 machine, his car is destroyed. He's going to be able to get a new one and continue to practice for tonight's event. Still a lot of time to get better and to get faster here for Sean Conklin. We'll see what he's capable of doing as time goes on. Michael Cormettis started on the charts here, and Aiden Walker in fourth. Chase Schaefer is now in the fifth position. Braxton Whitaker, 0.7 off the pace, is now all the way back in last so far, but every driver within a second of one another. And this is a very long track, 2.5 miles, the longest oval on the circuit. It is not, but it is tied for the second longest with Daytona International Speedway, and it's still going to be an intense show put on as Mark Allen Bivens has joined the circuit, and he is currently in the 6th position in his striking number 76 machine. Vincent Guecci nonetheless on his way, not anymore in the Conrail 09 machine. Alex Anderson, the league owner, on pit road as well, as Mason Moriarty in the 43 according to timing and scoring is in the Kempting Excavating 6 machine tonight, coming back after his Ken Block tribute at Long Beach. He's back in the normal colors here and looking to get something done. 9th position for the Pennsylvania native. Greg Kalhoff, debuting last week, looking to get somewhere out of the car. Outside of the top 10, he's not. He is, however, in 10th. Corey Lyles is in 11th right now, about half a second off the pace, and he's on pit road now in the 56 machine, which according to timing and scoring is the 56. However, on track, the Hooters 52 gets underway once again. Nonetheless, right now, James Thurston, leader in practice, and he might just be one of the leaders in the championship hunt, perhaps one of the favorites going into our multi-round playoff series, the Quantum Quest, beginning at Monza next week. And I don't know about you guys, and I don't know about you, Throttle, it's going to be a great one to watch. James Thurston, one of the great drivers here, looking to secure the deal in this championship.
To be joined in here with the broadcast booth with you, David Kreutz. Pocono, a wonderful racetrack in the Mount Pocono area of Pennsylvania. We're going to go here for an endurance race here because everyone misunderstands Pocono. They all hate on it because it was never supposed to be like Talladega and Daytona. Yes, it's a 2.5 mile super speedway, but it's got 3 corners and you all have to brake from, you have to downshift. This was a course designed for the test of man and machine. If you can survive Pocono, you can survive anything. This is going to be a test of the driver's skill and their match with their machine.
And we'll see whether or not they match with their machines. Right now, Sean Conklin in second. We saw him rally off 3 wins in a row. James Thurston able to match that feat. And these two, I think, might just be the championship favorites going into the remainder of this season. And how about that? The championship picture going to be altered after tonight. Let's get some early thoughts in. 95 machine usually here in the booth tonight. How do you feel about the guys up front, the 54 and the 96, leading the way 1-2 in practice?
Well, it's a similar situation to what we saw last night with the FORL Graphics League at Charlotte. I think a similar amount of drivers up front does mean that we have the solid straight run with the people at the front of the grid. And we could be on for another show between the 96 and the 54. Could this be Sean Conklin's return to destiny as he lost out on the win from 4-0 last night at Charlotte?
And he was also close last night, led a total of 103 laps, an incredible feat For the driver, that 54 machine, James Thurston, only led a total of 16. So out of the 120 scheduled laps, only one other driver would have gotten to lead one more. It did end up going into overtime by about 7 laps distance, but overall, they led 119 of the 120 scheduled laps, an unbelievable feat, as now Aiden Walker goes on his way, and River Page looks to be right in front of him. Page getting onto the track for the first time tonight, now the 15th man to enter the session, and River Page, despite the fact that he has only one victory all season long, finds himself third in the championship standings going into this race. And of course, with the points reset and all the points he's been able to stack up with top 5 after top 5, the man in that 24 machine looking for just a bit more here. 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in practice, and Page looking good in the Blackwood Builders Group number 24 machine. Braxton Whitaker on his way. Vincent Guetch going to sling off on the high side here as they come down the second turn. James Thurston looks to go down all the way on the apron, and he is hobbling back and forth. You can see every single tire going up and down, front and rear, as Thurston makes his way back up onto the track. Sean Conklin still on his way right behind him, gets right by Guecci, and Aiden Walker going to come down to the stripe once again. Looks like he's already passed it. He is still in fourth and only 8 thousandths of a second behind Michael Cormetis. That time by, looking for just a bit more, 53.994 for Aiden Walker, as Chase Schaefer comes down to the stripe that time by. And Schaefer in the Monster Designs number 99 machine still looking to get into the podium placements. Schaefer only one win all season long, a dominating affair at North Wilkesboro, and actually he was able to turn to a second win with Nashville Fairgrounds, another victory, and both races he was able to dominate. And actually at Nashville he actually spun from the lead on the first overtime, and we had so many overtime attempts that he was still able to win that race, coming from last to first in a field with only one retiree at the end of that event. Chase Schaefer still in the championship hunt. He'll have to turn it up all the way throughout the next few races, and Schaefer looks to be the short track aficionado this season. This is one of the longer tracks. Can Schaefer rattle off one more win as the regular season comes to a conclusion?
You are, David. Chase Schaefer, known to be a short track ringer. He's going to be at tough odds because you're at a big track here, one of the biggest on the schedule in the new Monster Design season. Slaps the ball at a 4. It is going to be a tough feat for Chase Schaefer, but as we head into the Quantum Quest, who knows what could happen?
Absolutely, who knows? A variety of tracks, including Monza, and it's going to be the Monza Oval for the All-Star races, Okayama, Twin Ring Oval, the Red Bull Ring, a series of road course races to open up this leg of the tour. And while a lot of these guys don't have a lot of road course experience, it might just be the great equalizer. A driver like James Thurston in first right now has a lot of experience on those ovals, and he continues to prove why he is one of the best in the business. Sean Conklin in second in the moment, and Mark Allen Bivens makes his way up to third. How about that for the FORL ringer? That's Mark Allen Bivens on your screen. Michael Deitch right behind him. And how about it? Chase Schaefer in sixth, on his way. Aiden Walker in fifth. And still a great performance from these two so far, but only so much time before it becomes qualifying here in Long Pond. And an impressive job by every driver so far to keep themselves within a second of the leader. Only drivers out of time right now, Jacob Wilkerson, Zach Todruff, and Braxton Whitaker, the final driver, on time and scoring only about an 8,000th gap between he and River Page. Page in 13th and Braxton Whitaker in 14th. And here we have it coming down the stretch one last time. Can Page get anything more out of it? It looks like this is his best lap by a wide margin. And River Page able to put it up to 10th now. But nobody seems to be a match for the man in the 96 machine. And that man is James Thurston. And he will be your fastest in practice. Now, time to send it over to qualifying here in Pocono Raceway. An unbelievable job by the 96 machine so far. Now, time to see who can grab that pole position in a 2-lap shootout. 5 minutes on the clock for every driver here, and only so much time to see who can round out this grid and who will round up to the front of the field, as the majority of the drivers are already on their way for the first time tonight. Michael Crometis on his way. Mark Allen Bivens is as well, and Bivens on his way. Anderson in the Hoonigan number 67. We find him on the track. Aiden Walker, similar situation. And the driver of that 93 machine looking for just a bit more. Only one win on the season. As a matter of fact, his first win coming just about last week by. Even though it was a chaotic race, Walker did not seem too shocked that he was able to get a victory, because certainly the man up front in a 93 week after week bound to get one, and now trying to roll that momentum into the remainder of the season. James Thurston, the 96 machine, coming down the back straightaway. Corey Lyles in a similar place right now, almost a few hundred feet behind him. Braxton Whitaker on pit road looks to be exiting for the first time tonight, as River Page coming across the final segment of the track, but it will be the driver of what appears to be the number 96 machine, perhaps the first one to the stripe, but it looks like no, River Page just beats him. Now we're in the time portion of qualifying. The first lap for the driver of the 24 machine. It is underway, and Page gonna lead him all through now as he goes down to the inside line for what will be his first turn of his first lap in qualifying. Only has one more chance to go through that turn again. Taking notes as he drives, he's gonna have to do it. And it's going to be a challenge to memorize everything about this track and get through at the fastest speed possible. Corey Lyles right now, similar situation in his number 56 Ford Mustang, 52 on the sides of that car. But he won in the number 56 truck to begin the season, and that's the way it's been week after week. Lyles up front, getting top 5s, top 10s, and he's been especially consistent, and that's what's been able to keep him in the championship race, even he hasn't won a race since Daytona. James Thurston on his way as well. The 96 Haas machine coming through the final turn, this time by Page, going to be the first man to set a lap down. It's a 54.166. It's already been beaten down. Now the fastest driver appears to be Chase Schaefer. And Schaefer unbelievably sets up 53.905. James Thurston with a 53.895. And Alex Anderson now in third, 2 tenths back with a 54.101. Aiden Walker, 100th of a second right behind him. River Page in 5th. Corey Lyles in 6th. Michael Deitch in 7th. And Mark Allen Bivens is now in 8th in the Team Watson Racing number 76. He's going to get bopped down just a position more. This time by looking to settle the score as he comes to the stripe. Looks to be way faster this time by. And now to the line for Mark Allen Bivens. It looks like he will be able to go just a bit higher into 5th. Alex Anderson up to 3rd, and Chase Schaefer now in front as James Thurston comes down to the stripe, looking to get just a bit more done here. Last time by, only 21 thousandths off the pole, and James Thurston will not take it from Chase Schaefer. A deficit of 6 1,000ths of a second. Unbelievable. And the 96 machine takes second as Chase Schaefer takes first, and nobody else able to chase him down. Mark Allen Bivens off the track. Vincent Guecci still going through his second lap. Looks like he's wrecked on it. Done and done. River Page done and done as well. Going to get himself up to 6th as Aiden Walker coming through his second lap. Looks like he's already backing down from the attempt. And one more driver going to take it to the top of the charts, and that looks to be Michael Cormetis. Cormetis puts it up into 5th on his final lap. Tire is destroyed, and he has concluded his run. Aiden Walker gets the stripe. Sean Conklin coming down to the stripe, and that time by Conklin puts himself in 10th as one driver gets up front, and that is Jacob Wilkerson. Wilkerson now rounding out your podium with 50 seconds to go in practice. A few drivers still doing practice laps, as a matter of fact. And the 54 Sean Conklin, best he can go is all the way up to the top of the grid by 24 1,000ths of a second. Sean Conklin is up to the front, and he will lead the field unless anyone else is able to challenge. The final minute spells disaster for Chase Schaefer as Todriff now looks to be the last man who can challenge him. Zach Todriff in the Paintbrush 54 number 054 machine, putting on a great run so far. This one looks to be just a bit quicker than his average lap. 14 so far. Will he be able to come to the stripe? It looks like it's going to be a neck-and-neck race with time here, but now looks to be on the losing end of it in the Duncan number 54 on the sides of those cars. The Toyota Camry not going to be able to make it to the line, and the winner in qualifying, your pole sitter, it is Sean Conklin in Pocono for a 40-lap event, round 15 from the Tricky Triangle. And who else but the driver of the 54, Sean Conklin, arguably the most dominating driver in IORA's history at a short stretch in this season, to lead us off. James Thurston on the grid. Sean Conklin soon to be there as well. Now let's take away your timing and scoring and get on to the results for qualifying and see your starting grid as everyone lined up on pit road, waiting to exit for the first time tonight here in Long Pond. Many drivers, many stories, all coming for one championship. And who else but the top two drivers to be Thurston and Conklin? We've seen them go at it time after time. And tonight just might be yet another time. 40 laps for a total of 16 drivers. It looks like they will all be able to take the green in unison. Nobody out of this one so far as the iRacing pace truck waiting to get going. Sean Conklin sets the pole with a 53.850 and Chase Schaefer in second with a 53.874. Next up in the third position, it's going to be James Thurston with a 53.880 and Jacob Wilkerson with a 53.891. Alex Anderson 54.001, 1,000th away from the 54-second flat lap, and Vincent Guecci with a 54.014 in the sixth spot. Michael Cormetis in seventh, and Mark Allen Bivens in the 8th position, rounding at your top 10. River Page and Aiden Walker with a 54.111, triple ones for the 93 machine. Corey Lyles 11th, Michael Deitch in 12th, and from there on out, Greg Kalhoff, Zach Todriff, Braxton Whitaker, and Mason Moriarty to round out what will be a 16-car field taking the green tonight. It looks like one more addition. Sean Rowe, no practice, no qualifying, looking to get it done. We saw him in the FORL Cup Series race at Pocono, and he has experience at this track with this very car. Tonight might just be the night for the man we've seen up front so many times in the FORL Cup Series, still looking to get his first win in this season of the IORA Cup Series as Sean Conklin gets on his way. Schaefer soon to follow, and the majority of the field still going. Wilkerson, Anderson, Vincent Guecci, Michael Cormetis, Mark Allen Bivens, River Page, Aiden Walker, and the majority of the field you can see on your screen. And Sean Conklin leads a wide-angle shot of the field as Schaefer goes right in front of James Thurston. Any final thoughts before we get this one rolling here in Long Pond?
I just have to say, I think, it's going to be a dramatic race. I think it's a little short. I know 40 laps doesn't seem like much, but Pocono's kind of long. It's definitely not the same 120 laps we did last night, but it's going to be a race of attrition. There's going to be a lot of things going on. Tire wear, the right front is going to be a big issue. The setup is really tight here. So if you wear off your right front immediately, you're going to be slow within a matter of laps. So if you know how to tire save and are still fast, you have a strong advantage over the rest of the field.
A strong advantage indeed. Last time we saw Pocono on this channel, 75 laps, this car, this track, and it looks like the same setup. Some of these guys do have experience with this car. Chase Schaefer, he started that race multiple laps down, almost a dozen laps down, and came back to almost finish on the podium. Sean Conklin, of course, ran strong, wrecked late. A lot of chaos in that race, but less time for chaos to happen here. And 40 laps to leave this one from qualifying to the race. The iRacing pace truck making it through the third turn of 3. What turn 4? We don't know, because the iRacing pace truck makes its fourth and final turn onto pit road, and no one else is going to do just that. Sean Conklin, Chase Schaefer lead the final race of the IORA Cup Series regular season. We are green for Pocono. Round 15 has begun, and it looks like Thurston going to take it very wide, 3 wide, looks like 4 wide already, and everyone's able to save it, but Thurston now has the edge going into the first turn. Chase Schaefer watching as they take it 3 immediately. Now it looks to be 4 wide. Alex Anderson in the mix as well. Touches Jacob Wilkerson, and it looks like the 67 gets a little bit of a rub there, but the entire field in frame. Now, back at the end of it, it's Greg Kalhoff in the number 39 machine as Chase Schaefer moves away from James Thurston. Jacob Wilkerson now in third. Big wiggle there.
Oh, we got contact in the back.
Guecci gonna save it. Big one. 4 wide. Big time moment there. Bivens is gonna have to move, and there's still 3 going into the third turn. James Thurston holding on side by side, Wilkerson and Conklin, and Chase Schaefer able to take it home for lap 1 so long as nothing happens from here on out. Double file, multiple rows deep. Chase Schaefer will lead the first lap of this race, and the remainder of the field fighting side by side, double file, almost looks like triple file back here. Big shuffles we've seen in the mid-pack. Still some consistency. Kalhoff still in the back here. And Todriff trying to make his way up. Vincent Guecci now single file, and it looks like the good majority of the field is single file at the moment. Everyone starting to space themselves out as we see a little bit of a shuffle once again in the back, and Thurston and Schaefer ready to do battle as Michael Deitch losing it. Big incident. Deitch around, makes it Moriarty not around. Might just be registered as a single car incident as Deitch looks to be the only man stopped on the track. Caution is out as Michael Deitch gets it back rolling. That's the entire field, and everyone seems to have it collected.
Yeah, I thought I saw Vincent get collected in an incident off the shot off turn 2. I wasn't quite sure, so I didn't say anything. But clearly, I was right about my hunch. There was an incident in the back of the pack involving Michael Deitch and possibly Vincent Guecci. Let's get a replay here about what happened. So you can see there Michael Deitch just off the yellow line, running about the seam. Oh, just Vincent gets loose. Oh, he just overcorrects into the outside wall, and then he gets tagged. Mason is involved, but keeps it going. Not a lot of front-end damage from what it looks like, but a 3-car incident does bring out the yellow here in Pocono.
And that absolutely does warrant a yellow, but everyone able to get back underway immediately as one driver going to fly right by. I believe that is Sean Rowe, and that it is. And the fire alarm number 99 machine looks to be able to make up just a bit of time. And this will keep him in the race for the victory as we continue to wait for this one to get back into motion. 3 laps in out of 40, returning you to the live feed here in Long Pond. And you can see there is Vincent Guecci. There's Michael Deitch, and they're catching up. It looks like Rowe able to get one spot out of that one as Chase Schaefer still leads, and he got a monster start, and that might just be the key to this one, getting great starts, because the draft, while it is very strong, not able to pull back in a multi-lap run there. What are your thoughts on that one? The draft might just be a factor.
Well, as we saw here from the Coke race just a few months ago, last year, the draft is an insane factor. Casey Kerwin was able to beat out one of the Sunoco drivers at the line by 0.005 of a second, using the draft and then pulling alongside the side draft all the way down the front straightaway. So draft is going to be here, very important here for tonight. Chase Schaefer having a monster start off of the restart, but now that gap has diminished because of this caution. Can he do it again, or will James Thurston finally have something to fight for?
With this time by, we see that James Thurston is on the outside line as the majority of the field is going to come down pit road. It might just be Thurston, fake out, Wilkerson. He's going to have to make do with what he has, and the 58 down on pit road. Conklin going to fake it. Page, Wilkerson, and the rest going to keep it on 4-lap old tires. Jacob Wilkerson going to fall for last. He might have been faked out there, but at that point, you just want to keep the car intact, so losing all your spots now and not using one of your 2 faster pairs better than just destroying the car, trying to get out of the fake out. He could have, but it looks like a few drivers are going to come in as well. Guecci, Page, Lyles, Todriff, Moriarty, and Sean Rowe. So we do have a lot of guys on pit road, not the guys up front, trying to already play alternative strategy. Although we only had a 3-lap green flag run, maybe some guys who had damage have a reason to do so, but Moriarty can come out right behind Wilkerson. Lyles now Deitch on his way, and strategy already playing a factor here. That's going to be a real interesting situation. As we can see, Vincent Guecci going to have to go way slow coming out of pit road.
Yeah, right, you are. I saw Mason get out of his box first, but didn't come out of pit road first. So as they go out onto the track, an incident involving Michael Deitch brings out the yellow, along with Vincent Guecci, who had overcorrected into the outside wall. One thing I did learn while doing this combo in FORL Graphics League is that heat-cycled tires still feel very good, if not as good as fresh tires. So, if Chase staying out may have been actually a good call. For all the people who stayed out, as long as they don't overheat their tires under caution, let them cool down, then just warm them up just enough right before they go back green, this could be a major play. Because heat cycle tires do feel good here at Pocono. Maybe not for long, but it could be enough just to get an advantage while the people in the back who have fresh tires wear theirs off, and they could be about the same. So strategy already starting to come into play under caution 4 laps in.
Chase Schaefer going to take it to the grass that time by. Looks like he's just going to keep it on there as the left side of his car is going to make a tap there with the grass, and it looks like now we're already choosing, and the choose rule, it looks like it might just be in effect there as Thurston goes down to the inside line, and Chase Schaefer now going to have to stay on it. And imagine if the choose rule were here, Thurston gonna have to use everything he has on that outside line to make something happen.
You're right, you are. James Thurston there on the start on the outside. Not much we see. Chase doing a good job to hold that inside line, a dominant position, because he can dive down low and he won't get tight. James Thurston will have to do everything he can to try and keep on Chase's door, because if he can, he might be able to get a good run down the back.
Well, it comes down to running down the back. I believe on the front straightaway tonight, we are using iRacing mandated restart zones, meaning everything is automatically towed through the system that iRacing has in place. So Thurston going to have to let Chase Schaefer at least get down on the pedal first. And from there on out, it's all fair game. But James Thurston going to have to be very, very cautious coming down to the stripe as the man of that 96 machine, knowing everything matters. Coming in to the final segment of the regular season. Looks like the mic had a bit of a hiccup there. My apologies. Trying to get it to work here as we have 5 laps concluded just now. It's going to be this time by at least. And lap 6, we go green here in Pocono. And if you enjoy the action, be sure to like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. We still have a lot of time here. Be sure to click the bell icon for notifications. We will be back live again at 9:30 with a special Highline Racing League presentation of a Chili Bowl to remember Casey Heschel, bringing one to us, a full-length event following tonight's event. Of course, 9:30, we will be live. The race begins then. We hope to have you there, as Chase Schaefer might just be among the few of these guys who cross over and make the transition to dirt. Tonight, we might see him, and we might see some of these guys here as well. Who knows? They all know that they can come over. Max of 24 drivers there, as we currently have 16 drivers strong looking to get the victory. First restart, it's going to start this time by Schaefer, going to lead him through. He gets a nice start. Thurston does as well. Even first restart underway.
Schaefer with another great start there with James Thurston on the outside, side by side as they go down into turn number 1. Sean Conklin trying to get a move. They're going to go 3, try and send it in. Sean Conklin knows his maker, and he's going to stay behind Chase. But now there's River Page right behind him. Alex Anderson and Michael Cometas choosing to go to the high line with James Thurston. Oh, I think Allison might have tapped the wall. So signs already showing as James Thurston takes the lead off of turn number 1. Now he's doing the same thing Chase did at the beginning and is starting to pull away. But after we see in the Long Pond straightaway here, we're about to see major implications. Chase starting to get tight, going up to the wall, had to loosen up. You see that gap starting to increase. So the dirty air, a major factor here in Pocono. Can Thurston romp away from the win unless another caution comes out?
Of course, a lot of time to do that. 6 laps in, out of 40, not even a quarter of the way there, with the 96 machine on his way. Coming out of the stripe, trying to break the draft. Thurston still leads him, and Chase Schaefer there right behind him. Sean Conklin right there trying to keep up with them, and now he's going to lose a lot of time trying to keep that draft. Alex Anderson back up to third, and Michael Cometas up to 4th. And now it's Schaefer and Thurston breaking the draft. Dirty air might just be the name of the game here. The 96 machine still pushing hard. Mid-pack is intense as well. How about Mason Moriarty in that 43 machine? The 6 on your screen as he goes right behind the side-by-side battle between Braxton Whitaker, Corey Lyles in the middle of the pack. And getting stuck down in the back is a very bad thing for any driver. Even if they have pace, going to be a big challenge to get through, as Lyles now going to be passed by Braxton Whitaker. Might not be clear that time by. They go side by side into the final turn. And there's an incident. Whitaker almost around. He saves it. Everyone keeps going. But now it's 4 wide. And Whitaker loses the spot. Michael Deitch can overcorrect. And everyone saves it. 4 wide becomes 3 wide. Becomes 2 wide. And Whitaker now going to pass Michael Deitch right to stripe. Unbelievable.
What a save from what could have possibly been a very bad incident there. Going to retrieve you an instant replay of what happened. To try and go back and see what happened. Here's a replay. The 51 of Braxton Whitaker side by side with the 52. Tries to make the move, and he is clear now. Oh, but he sends it in the 52. The 51 of Braxton Whitaker gets turned. Mason almost involved. Everyone 4 wide, 3 wide. Michael Deitch, what a save. Everyone collects it there in the back of the pack, and here we are. Everyone saved it from a possible very bad incident in the back of the pack, and everyone saves it. We're still green.
Unbelievable save there from Braxton Whitaker and Michael Deitch in a similar situation. They are still fighting. Deitch on his way. Whitaker might just have damage as he continues to try to hold on here. Chase Schaefer trying to hold on to James Thurston is now. It's about a third of a second. He has an advantage over the remainder of the field. Schaefer in second knows this, and he's going to have to get closer and closer time after time. It becomes much more of a challenge. It goes way high there. And Thurston not going to do that. The second pack is getting strung out here. And so is the third. As we see Aiden Walker and Vincent Guecci go side by side here. And even though there are fewer drivers in the second pack now, looks like about 6 or 7 at the very most. As the third pack is gaining. Walker, Guecci, double file. They go way high coming to the third turn. The same thing could happen, but they're dead even. Not even a contest to see who's clear, as now they are not clear of one another and go into the third turn dead even. Trading places, trading entry for exit, exit for entry. And double file, they still come out of that turn, coming down to the stripe. Walker not going to have the edge, and Vincent actually going to get pulled right through by Jacob Wilkerson, and Wilkerson lets him go. And it looks like now we got a man with pace, and that's Michael Cormetis. 10-lap old tires, the top three all have the fastest driver on the new set. It's Jacob Wilkerson, as Wilkerson keeps looking for spots, but Chase Schaefer goes down. He's searching for something, as it looks like he has damage. He does not have a clean car, and it's evident. Michael Cormetis going to be given the spot there. Schaefer gonna have to let him by. The 99 machine looks to have some crucial damage on the right side, running up very, very high to the wall. Might be netcode, might not be, but he's certainly losing time and might lose more position.
So Chase Schaefer tapped the wall as Michael Cormetis goes up to the second spot. He's now going to go down and try and catch James Thurston, who now has a pretty evident lead over the rest of the field. Michael Cormetis now the guy in second in the catbird seat to go and try and catch the 96 who's out in front, who won at Charlotte just last night in the FORL Graphics Series. Sean Conklin, the man he was battling now, is in about 4th, 5th place, battling with Alex Anderson in the Hoonigan machine, a Ken Block-inspired car. But 96, James Thurston and Haas lead the field here in Pocono, coming off of turn 1. Awfully tight. You can see him draft up to the wall, trying to not get contact with the outside wall. But here comes Michael Cormetis trying to close the gap to the 96 out in front. But I think James Thurston so far has this covered.
Absolutely. James Thurston gets a great run there, and Chase Schaefer did Cormetis no favors. And Thurston now able to play that game on the front straight. You can see the way he swerves. We'll see it. He's going down through the third turn, this time by with an 0.8 of a second advantage. It's going to shrink down to about 6 at the apex of the turn. But look at this. Thurston, he starts at high. He starts drifting all the way down low, this time by much less exaggerated, as Cormetis way, way back. But now you can see drivers like Wilkerson do the same thing, going all the way from the bottom of the grid down to the top here, as River Page tries to make a move on Sean Conklin, goes up the high side, has the momentum, but it's hard to roll something up here at Pocono. The inside is king, and it's evident. Very, very wide sweeping corners time after time, and every turn provides its own challenges. Going double file and making a pass a challenge of its own, especially if you're on that outside line.
River Page tries to make the move on Alex Anderson. Now we can see Chase Schaefer starting to come in the picture. That damage starting to slow him down pace-wise, but now we got double file, double racing action down into turn 3. What turn 4? As now River Page tries to make the move on Alex Anderson, gets that inside lane, sends it in now side by side. They're going to come side by side out the corner. Now double file racing. You'd think this is a super speedway. Sean Conklin there to the back of the 24, trying to get things done. But the 67 of Alex Anderson still leads this pack as we head into turn number 1.
How about the super speedway speeds? Getting into this segment of the track at a speed of 190 miles an hour. They are letting off. They are hitting the brakes as Walker's going around. 93 machine up, almost over. Now,
Sean Conklin thought he saved it back around. Sean Conklin spinning as well. We have a caution out. Oh, lock it down. That could have been a very bad incident, but luckily all the drivers avoided it very well, and Sean Conklin locked it down.
Sean Rowe locking it down as well, but Sean Conklin unbelievably making it his job to avoid not 1 but 2 and 3 incidents at the end of it, almost getting hit by Sean Rowe as well. And we're going to catch up to Conklin because it looks like he's still in the front of the field for only a moment until the incident comes out. Let's get an instant replay on the matter and find out what happened there, as this is Aiden Walker spinning, Conklin going around as well, and Sean Conklin involved. It looks like Walker gets on his way again, but Rowe spins it back, almost gets in the wall there, and everyone else keeps it straight. Michael Deitch, Sean Rowe, Corey Lyles, Aiden Walker, everyone else keeps it collected, and that is how we roll into our second caution of the night. 14 laps in out of 40, and unbelievably, we're almost halfway there already. We are moving quickly here in Pocono Raceway, and almost halfway through, James Thurston dominating as he gets that much better start on that restart, and nobody else able to compete. Chase Schaefer, and now Michael Cormetis, especially in second, have to take notes because this is their grand equalizer. If you get out front early, it's almost impossible to lose it.
Right, you are. The 96 of James Thurston out in the lead. The Cormetis just right behind. The lap 14 of 40, the third caution to come out here tonight. the mountains of Pocono Raceway here in Pocono, Pennsylvania. Chase Schaffer with a bit of right front damage. We'll see him come down pit road to try and fix that as well. People will most likely go and set on another set of 4 tires. We're going to see a lot of people come down pit road. I doubt anyone's going to stay out unless they're lapped down to try and go get their laps back. So the 25 of Michael Corminis was boosted up into second place, with the 99 of Chase Schaffer having right side damage, now moving down to third. So the man who originally led this race got a monster start, now drops down to third pace-wise because of that damage. We're going to see who comes down pit road. So far, it seems like it's everybody in the field. James Thurston leads the field down to the pit road. Oh, he tries to fake him out, but no. Everyone going to come down pit road, side by side, racing action down the pit road as the 99 of Chase Schaffer tries, but concedes the position down pit road to Michael Corminis. Now, it's all about strategy. How much fuel do you take, and do you take 4 tires? Now, it seems like common sense to take 4 tires, but someone may have another strategy call in the back. Everyone at their pit stalls locking up. No one seems to have missed it so far. Chase is going to have a longer pit stop because of that right for damage, but he opts to take a faster pair instead. So now he's going to have one of the fastest. Sean Conklin now coming into his pit box. Who's going to come out of pit road first? The winner off of pit road will be decided. We got cars gassing it down. Mason gasses it out. And Michael Corminis, who's it going to be? Chase Schaffer, the winner off of pit road. Michael Corminis just gets second. Alex Anderson third. James Thurston fourth. Mason Moriarty coming from almost down to dead last all the way up to, I believe, 4th position. So fantastic pit stop for the 6 crew. But now the 58 now moves up into 5th place. So we have a lot of mixing up off of pit road and one car still stranded.
And pit road now looks to be the playground for Chase Schaffer getting it done. He's back out front, and his damage, well, it's repaired. He used one fast repair, and other drivers have as well. And it looks like, including Chase Schaffer, a total of about 1 other driver has used it, and that's Vincent Guecci. So 2 fast repairs have been used all race out of the collective 30-odd fast repairs available. And it is, in fact, a total of 34 fast repairs divided 17 ways, 2 fast repairs each. And only 2 have been used all race long. 15 laps in out of 40. Very, very clean so far. But the man in the 99 has no patience. Certainly that was optional damage. His engine, he actually kept it in 3rd. So besides losing that 2nd spot, he was able to hold on. But he just wants that damage done and put away with. He has already put it away 15 laps in from the 15th round of the IORA Cup Series Championship. And unbelievably, Schaffer back out front. And Alex Anderson, how about him? He's up front now. He might be an outside shot to get this one done. How about him? The 67 looking for his first win in the IORA Cup Series of all time. The owner of this league still wants to own the field for one night.
We're now just 24 laps away from the beginning of the Quantum Quest for the Cup. Quantum Esports is sponsoring the IORA League and the Quantum Quest for the Cup as we get ready for a playoff and chase-style-esque point system to decide the champion of the IORA season finale. Chase Schaffer now moves up into the lead, who was originally leading, takes a fast repair down pit road, 4 tires and fuel, gasses it out, and becomes our leader. Michael Corminis still being in 2nd place after a great pit stop for him. James Thurston, who was our leader once before, now moves down to 4th. Alex Anderson now taking up that 3rd spot right behind Schaffer. Mason Moriarty with the biggest jump on pit road all the way up to 5th place. Makes a great start now, has to go in the front of the pack and hopefully can avoid the chaos that used to be in the back of the pack. Sean Conklin, who was trying to fight up into the lead, now drops back a few spots as well. Corey Lyles, a shock there in the front of the field with everybody else who pitted as well. The 52 machine now moving up to the front of the field. Jacob Wilkerson, a man who came in about mid-pack, is now down to the back. Walker now still midfield. Here comes Zach Todriff out of pit road. He's going to have to haul his way back to the field, but he'll make it before they go green. Here is Aiden Walker. He's coming out of turn number 2. I believe he was involved in the incident, but now he's going to line up at the back of the pack. Due to IORA rules, if you were involved in the incident that brings out the yellow, you have to go to the back of the field. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's an automatic EOL.
And there we have it. Leading us into the final turn. The 2nd caution leads us to our 2nd restart of the night, what becomes a total of 17 drivers ready to take this one on. No retirees just yet. Only 2 fast repairs have been used. A relatively clean race, and everyone who has been involved in the incident has been able to keep it out of the wall and keep it away from one another. So everyone sitting pretty so far. The iRacing pace car takes its hard left turn in. That's turn 4. Here we go. Chase Schaffer. Oh my goodness. What a start. That's going to give him 2 tenths immediately, and everyone sure to follow as they dive all the way down almost to the grid pattern right by outside pit roads, outside barrier. Schaefer dominates that start, and everyone else has to clean up and pick the spoils for one another. Unbelievable. Cormetis up high, Thurston there as well, and the whole field goes and they follow. Incredible job of the 99 so far, and Cormetis blocks him. Now he's going to be able to make the move. The 025 to the lead, and Chase Schaefer, after we got one to the grass.
Got a car in the grass there. Vince Gucci in the grass. He saves it, I believe. No caution. Everyone saves it. Aiden Walker there getting loose there on the inside. We've got a lot of cars scrambling everywhere for position, but Chase Schaefer, the man of the restart, who was leading the race in the beginning, holds on and keeps the lead. He will be the leader off the lap off the restart. Barely taps the wall, but now he's going to have to do battle with Michael Cormetis and James Thurston. The 25 trying to get a draft there from the 96 just behind them, but Chase Schaefer still the leader going into turn number 1. We're going to have an exciting battle between these 2-3. You can wrap a blanket under him. It's just like Charlotte from last night.
And Michael Cormetis, a driver who's not able to make Charlotte from last night. Chase Schaefer, however, did, and he's no stranger to chaotic racing with this bunch of guys. Cormetis knows it as well. He is hungry for his first victory of the season. He's been oh so close, but luck has not been in his favor. Lady Luck not dealing him a good hand as James Thurston right behind. Double file in the back of the pack. That's Wickerson and Mark Allen Bivens, but Chase Schaefer watching as now, slowly but surely, Michael Cormetis drifting away from his rear view mirror. Watching on board with Chase Schaefer right now, you can see how close they are to one another. The back end shows you it's about 3 or 4 slots on those little slants on the straightaway. The front straightaway showing you by distance that these guys are getting more and more spread apart time after time. Cormetis knows it, and he's losing. As you can see, Schaefer gets a much better exit for only a moment. Wow, what a maneuver. Cormetis now on him, and Michael Cormetis might just have the move in store. Chase Schaefer, big mess up, and it looks like it's smooth sailing for the man in the 025. On this view, there's nothing near him. Let's watch within the cockpit. Rear view mirror, it's all Thurston. Chase Schaefer goes from first to third, and it looks like that was a colossal mess up. A great entry, not a great exit. Third he is, and that's the lowest he's ran all night long, and he's accustomed to it, unfortunately, as Thurston and Cormetis now have the pace. Michael Cormetis back out front here, coming to the 20th lap. The cross flags, they'll wave next time by.
Right, the 99 got tight there out of turn number 1. Give me a position. We got a car spun on the back. River Page, I think, may have been involved, but a car spin directly around. Smoke. And that is the 76.
And how about it? Looks like he's on his way. And that 76 machine is Mark Allen Bivens. And he is on his way once again. And no caution. Single car around. And this time by, it actually did look like it was a single car incident. We're going to try to find out what happened once again. Instant replay. Trying to see what could be seen. As we saw them down the back straightaway. And then the front straightaway once again. An instant replay will be administered to try to find out what's going on. Instant replay. We're going to send it back just a bit more, trying to find out. As you can see, River Page and Mark Allen Bivens were oh so close, going lap after lap, battling one another. Bivens backs off as we do hit the halfway point of this race. The Bivens machine does back off, gets right up to the side of River. Next time by and down to the stripe. Vincent Guecci gets all the way up into the wall here, and this is where Calamity makes its call. And Page, side by side, looks like Bivens tries to make the maneuver. They almost door slam, and now it looks like Page takes him from there. Might be netcode, might not be, and Mark Allen Bivens goes around.
Mark Allen Bivens around on the front straightaway brings out the caution here with about 21 laps completed. 19 laps to go here at Pocono in the IORA Cup Series. The final race before the Quantum Cup, the final race of the regular season before the quest for the Quantum Cup, brought to you by Quantum Esports. Now, lap 21 of lap 40, an incident bringing out the caution once again, but your 3 leaders were still Michael Cormetis, James Thurston, and Chase Schaefer.
And how about it? Watching on board with Michael Cormetis here, 22 laps in out of 40, 19 laps to go. And how about these guys pushing as hard as they can? And while it's 19 laps to go, it is lap 22 of 40. So you know what that means. We're going to crank it up here. Track cams for Gorman's, trackcams22.com, the best cameras on iRacing. Let's crank it up uninterrupted, and we will be back by lap 2024. We hope you enjoy this brief presentation, cranking it up live on FTN. And returning following a brief crank it up there, Michael Cormetis still leads lap 24 of 40. And we are coming down to what will be next time by a total of only 16 laps to go, now 17 laps to go, as we wait to see whether or not Chase Schaefer can do anything. Right now, Schaefer in third, still chasing down James Thurston, and it looks like Dirty Air keeping these guys about a quarter of a second apart time after time. It looks like Cormetis now just needs to cruise to keep it going and not make a mistake. Washing up high seems to be to the detriment of everyone at every angle, and you don't want to be up there no matter what. And the Red Bull number 25 machine, he knows this now, and he's going to follow every rule of this track to the letter to keep this lead and perhaps get the victory.
Right, you are. Michael Cormetis now out in front once again. The 96 of James Thurston following just behind, and then Chase Schaefer, who had gotten tight, now had conceded the lead after a monster restart once again, is now back in third. We got a tight battle between the guys in the top 5 spots. We got Michael Cormetis v. James Thurston. Chase Schaefer trying to hold on. The 67 of Alex Anderson now trying to do battle with the 99 of Sean Rowe. What can happen here? 15 laps to go at Pocono.
Sean Rowe looking to be much faster this time by Rowe, getting up to the inside line. Nothing he can do so far. The fire alarm number 99. He is getting closer and closer. Anderson going to get a much better entry, but Rowe going to combat it with a much better exit up to the wall there for the Hoonigan number 67 machine. Rowe there, side by side. They are not just yet, but Rowe wants to make it that way as they are bumper to bumper, front to back here as they are chasing down Chase Schaefer. Schaefer looking to be losing just a bit of pace. It might be tire wear, as these guys are an 11-lap-old set. Everyone looks to be on the same age of tire. It's all about whether or not you wear it down or whether or not you play it conservative, as everyone seems to be using the second groove on that final corner here in Pocono. And now, Anderson able to pull away just a bit. Looks to be the closest battle on the track is further back, and it will be between Mason Moriarty and Sean Conklin. Conklin is in 6th, Moriarty is in 7th, and right behind him, Aiden Walker and Jacob Wilkerson for a page there as well. Anderson in 4th here, gaining on Chase Schaefer, and Chase Schaefer might know that he's got to chase down someone in front of him before he lets anyone chase him, as Anderson knows he might have an opportunity here. The 67 getting pulled along by the 99 Mustang on Mustang here, and it looks like Chase Schaefer on the losing end of this battle as he goes up high. Once again, you can see he's running way wider lines, and that's not speed of this track, that is only distance. Given how fast it is, you don't want to do that. The draft not as dependable on compared to, of course, Daytona and Talladega. You just want to be fast and small when it comes to your lines. The closest you can run to the shortest possible distance is all you want. And a man like Chase Schaefer, knowing that, has to pick up the pace. What is now a baker's dozen, 13 laps to go here in Pocono Raceway.
Right, you are. Chase Schaffer now having to do battle with Alex Anderson there in the 67 machine, trying to stay ahead and trying to get back up to where he was in the lead pack. But it doesn't look like it's going to go the 99's way, where he has the other 99er, Sean Rowe, breathing down the back of the 67. It's going to be a tough battle for him to try and keep in the top 5. But Alex Anderson showing surprisingly good pace here late on in the race with 13 laps to go. I think Anderson may have a good shot at getting a good top finish. If the restart goes crazy, I think he may have a chance to win.
And that looks to be the way it's going. Alex Anderson looks to be about the 3rd fastest driver on the racing surface right now. He's about 6,000ths adrift from Sean Conklin, but nonetheless, he gets way closer to Chase Schaffer. Schaffer on the wall now, watching the nose cam. Side by side, they are going to go. And now, Schaffer in jeopardy of losing the lap. Now, he is in the 4th spot, and he loses a spot on lap 29. Alex Anderson gets him, and Sean Rowe, the next man chasing the 67 up to 3rd, and now he has the opportunity to do battles. He gets right in the wall. Schaffer has as well. Aiden Walker, Sean Conklin pushing in the same pace here, but they're way back now. Don't you worry about them for just a minute, as James Thurston and Michael Cormetis have set the tone all race along. Chase Schaffer as well, but Schaffer, he has been moving slowly but surely away from the leaders. At Chase now getting chased down. About a 1/10 of a second remains between the drivers in 4th and 5th, and this battle is in favor of the man in position number 5. Rowe down to the stripe. He will be sometime soon. Chase Schaffer takes him there, and now Chase Schaffer in jeopardy of losing yet another position with only 11 laps to go. He's now on full recovery mode as James Thurston side by side now. Cormetis gets it slid on him, and now Michael Cormetis has to fight back. Double file. Now the lead battle is getting more and more intense, and Cormetis, well, he knows it. Down to the inside line. Chase Schaffer not in the mix anymore. It's Cormetis fighting off James Thurston side by side. 25 inside, 96 outside. And Thurston gets the run on the high side. Cormetis has to follow it up.
Right, you are riding on board with Michael Cormetis. A strong showing here in Pocono, but now James Thurston is your leader. He had slipped by Cormetis and is now taking the lead with 10 laps to go. Closing in on the back half of this race, closing in just like it was in Charlotte. Although Sean Conklin was leading and James Thurston was trying to be the closer like he has in the back of his car. Hashtag forever. With Kevin Harvick now confirming that he will leave the NASCAR Cup Series at the end of the 2023 season. A very sad one to go, but I think it was time anyway.
James Thurston proving that he's got something in his Ford Mustang. Jacob Wilkerson down to the inside line. Big time damage. No caution. Single car incident. Nobody else involved. We will stay green. Wilkerson looks to be in trouble. 10 laps to go. That might be all of his chances for a win out the window if we keep it green. Schaffer looks to have smacked the wall as well to a lesser extent. The 96 machine still leads over Cormetis, Alex Anderson, Chase Schaffer in 4th, and Sean Rowe in 5th, with Mason Moriarty in 6th. And Sean Conklin in 7th, Aiden Walker 8th. And from there on out, these top 8 guys, the ones in the shot range for the victory, as only 5 guys within a second of the leader. Chase Schaffer still pulling Sean Rowe, but now Schaffer looking out of the pace to keep up with Alex Anderson, as Anderson trying to get back up into this battle for the lead. And he might just be the fastest right now. That time by 1/10 of a second faster than your leader, and a 1/10 of a second and then some on Michael Cormetis. Alex Anderson, fastest man on the track right now, might be fast enough to get this victory.
There you are. Alex Anderson showing a strong bit of showing late in the race. He's showing a lot of pace to try and catch down now the 25 and the 96. Apparently, he had saved his tires quite well, now proving to be a threat to both of the 2 leaders who have been leading this whole race, and Chase Schaffer might not have anything to do about it.
And that he might not, as Anderson that time by washes up just a bit high. Thurston still within the vicinity, and now a 1/10 of a separated second is there between your top 2 drivers. They are almost separate, but it looks like at this point they are back to back as if it's a train here, and the freight train goes on. Your top 2 drivers are in the mix. And now, Thurston has to defend if he wants to keep that spot. Cormetis goes high, and now he goes low. This could be the it factor for the 25 machine.
Right, you are. The 25 now tries to make the move to the inside of the 96 machine. They almost door each other. They're almost touching. Alex Anderson wants this to happen. He wants them to battle because they're both going to get tight. They're both going to burn up the tires, but James Thurston knows what might happen, and he lets the 25 by.
Now Cormetis back out front. Anderson still closing in. That time by it faster than Thurston, slower than Cormetis. And now he might be faster than the both of them as the 96 now knows this could be his opportunity to get his first win in this series. Over its 3 seasons, he's been involved in every single race since the very first. Alex Anderson knows this moment could mean everything as Thurston tries to take it in on Michael Cormetis. Quarter panel, they are bumping big time. 7 laps to go now. They could be getting just a bit too intense over their head. It's possible, but it's possible. This is just hard racing.
Sorry to cut you off, David. Chase Schaffer smacks the wall, and we've got a 3-way battle for the lead. The 96 now down to the 25. Alex Anderson in the catbird seat trying to get it done. Chase Schaffer now running slow because of the smack on the wall. But the battle for the lead is intensing up quickly. The 67 of Alex Anderson now trying to get something done. But the 96 of James Thurston now on the outside of the 25 of Michael Cormetis. They're going to slide. He's going to touch the curb. This is exactly what Anderson wants to see. He wants to see them battling it out, trying to do everything he can. With them battling it out, they're going to get tight. They're going to use up their tires, and Anderson might have enough to move. 6 laps to go.
Door banging there. Cormetis and Thurston, they're getting real close to each other with 6 laps to go. Now Alex Anderson's in the mix, and Thurston trying to keep it up. 3 cars within 3 car lengths, and Anderson bumper to bumper to bumper here, and he's going to take the 67 machine for a ride. Thurston will. And now Cormetis defends once again. Thurston goes up high. Alex Anderson sees him. 6 laps to go. Going through the second turn once again. They're really pushing now. And Alex Anderson, this could be his opportunity. Thurston now loses just a bit of time. Cormetis going to have a bit of an advantage. But now between these 3 guys, they are all in about an even pace. Alex Anderson now in third, closing in on second. This gives Cormetis a little breathing room as the 96 slows down not only himself, but Anderson right behind him. It becomes 5 laps to go.
Right you are, David. 5 laps to go there, and the 96 trying to get it done across to the so the 25 of Michael Cormetis just out in front. The 67, Alex Anderson, trying to get his first win on the season. Can he get it done here in Pocono? He seems to have the pace, and he's right behind the 96. They've all been wrapped under a blanket. The 25 now having about a 2-car length gap to the 96, entering the tunnel turn with 5 laps to go. As the laps wind down, these are your lead pack. The 67, the 96. Oh, and Anderson, he's trying to make a move on the 96, and James Thurston is going to send it. This is going to give Michael Cormetis an easy advantage. I would try in front, but I think Thurston may see what's coming. With 4 laps to go, Anderson's now on the hunt for Michael Cormetis.
And 4 laps to go, it will be coming down to the stripe. The 67 and the 96 pushing each other to the stripe here. Anderson getting a real send as Chase Schaefer gaining in on the second pack. Actually, it's vice versa now as Schaefer loses a load of time. Rura Page, Sean Conklin, Mason Moriarty. This is the pack in the second group, and they really slam into each other. Conklin, Walker, that's a yellow. 4 laps to go. We will send it into overtime.
Events here in the last 4 laps of Pocono in the IORA race finale before the crest for the Quantum Cup has turned over its head. A caution out with 4 laps to go in this race. Sean Conklin gets involved in an incident in turn 1. This has put the race on heads and tails. Who is it going to be? We used to have a 3 possible chance for the winners, but now it's all open to anybody now. Here is the incident once again. Sean Conklin sends it in. Walker. Oh, Walker. Walker takes out the 54.
And that must have been premeditated. I'm not sure why. And Keegan Clark, that does indeed look intentional. Unbelievably intentional for a group of drivers racing with each other like that. I've never seen anything like that in the middle of a pack. I didn't look at they got any contact beforehand. And Sean Conklin gets blown up with 3 laps to go. Unbelievable. And I'm sure he's got some choice words after that when the 54 gets destroyed. And look at it, Michael Deitch catching up to him, gets right behind him here. And Sean Conklin is destroyed, pulling it in. He's certainly going to have to use a fast repair after that one. In the 025 of Michael Cormetis, well, he's been up front. James Thurston, Alex Anderson, Chase Schaefer, it's all reset once again. And this could be the final opportunity for drivers to get into pit road and reset their strategy as they all have the opportunity one more time to get new, fresh tires if they so choose.
Right, you are, David, with the laps winding down. Now we're going to face a restart here. But Alex Anderson, the fastest mover in the field so far, had moved all the way up to second place. Insane events here from the 67 winner, the Ken Block Memorial car that he ran just a couple weeks ago in Long Beach. This is it. This could be the final restart or one of many. This is going to be the last part of the race. The 3 laps left to go before the chase for the Quantum Cup.
And it could be more than 3. We saw last night 7 laps of overtime to determine it. With only 2 green flag laps overall, Cormetis brake checks the entire field. Not sure if that's intentional, but it's a pretty aggressive strategy as it comes down to pit road. Vincent Guecci, only driver to be on the track right now that's out of pit road. And let's see how these guys manage it. The entire field coming down. You can see Kalhoff, you can see Todriff, you can see River Page, Braxton Whitaker, Jacob Wilkerson, and Mark Allen Bivens. Cormetis makes a big whammo there with his stall. He's now real sideways. That might give him an advantage off exit, but certainly going to have to use a fast repair, and that he does immediately to counteract his mistake. And Thurston sees this opportunity. Schaefer certainly knows of this opportunity. Cormetis on his way. Schaefer on as well, and James Thurston beats him out. Now it's Thurston, Schaefer, Anderson, and Michael Cormetis is the biggest loser. Although now it looks like Chase Schaefer going to park it immediately after.
Pulling to the side. What is going on? The 99 pulling to the side of the track after pit exit. We have no clue what's going on. Still parked. He receives an EOL.
And how about that? Chase Schaefer back on his way. Well, he is now. And the 99 machine certainly had something go wrong for him immediately after. Unbelievable. And it looks like he'll be back on his way. Certainly just had to do something, as he is still racing with us. 3 laps to go, and we will get back to the live feed. Schaefer far gone. Only one driver on pit road right now. That's Aiden Walker, as it looks like he's still getting just a bit more damage repaired. The Conrail 09 of Vincent Guecci leads Sean Conklin. And Conklin in second right now, Guecci in first. But James Thurston wins the race off pit road. And I don't know who we get an interview with right now. We still have the opportunity to get Conklin, have the opportunity to get Guecci, but I think Conklin...
I have a feeling that we should get an interview with Chase Schaffer just to see what happened there, because he was a man in the lead pack. Chase Schaffer, you were going to be in a good position off the battle off pit road. Explain to us what happened.
Pressured. Thurston was going faster, and I tried exploiting the pit speed, taking like 1 over, and I got speeding in pits. No idea how he did it, but it's whatever. We'll work back from it. Not too worried about it.
So bopped for speeding off the pit road exit. Do you think this is going to affect your race in a good way, or do you think... what do you think? What's going on through your mind as we go on to the first restart?
They're going to wreck. I'm hoping. I'm staying optimistic.
So optimistic here in the final wreck. Do you think this may have been a saving grace? Because if they all wreck, you might avoid it, and they'd be able to keep your 1 fast repair left. Do you think this is a good idea?
Nope. Second place would have been much better than this, but that's all right.
So a lot going through the mind of Chase Schaffer. Anything else you'd like to say before we move you back?
Follow at Monster Designs on Twitter. That's all I got.
And now if I could plug myself, I would too, but that is good positioning. Thank you for your time.
Yep.
And they're having Chase Schaefer in the 99 machine.
99.
Yep,
ahead,
indeed.
David.
How about it? Schaefer right there. We just get his interview, and he's certainly not happy about that one, setting himself at the end of the line. I'm not really sure if Chase Schaefer didn't get whammed for speeding penalties. Or rather, since he did, I'm surprised James Thurston's able to get out of that one scot-free. Vincent Guecci is your leader on a 10-lap-old set of tires. Sean Conklin looks like he's been sent to the back. And now, everything resets once again. Guecci and Thurston. And finally, Alex Anderson to round out your preliminary podium before we get to the final 2 laps of green flag action. They make it to the white flag. They make it all the way. And Schaefer now going to have to claw his way back all the way if he wants an opportunity at that race victory. Guecci, Thurston could be your final front row of the night here. The iRacing pace truck going to back down on a pit road, and it might not be used for the rest of the race so long as we get through 1 more lap of green flag action. Guecci, Thurston on their way, and Vincent Guecci gets a great start. Alex Anderson follows him. 2 laps to go here in Long Pond.
Absolutely right, David. We got an amazing battle out here in the front. Alex Anderson trying to make a move. He's going to send it in deep. River Page sends it in deep with him as well. Vincent Goetze gets away with the race lead. Anderson gets tight. He has to block up all 4 lanes. But Anderson now in the catbird seat to try and get it done. He's going to follow Goetze all the way down the back straightaway. Here we go to the Long Pond curve and the Long Pond straightaway. He's going to take every bit of track and use every inch of road that he can get to get ahead of Vince Goetze. They're smoking the back of the pack. They all save it. They don't wreck. Oh, one car spinning in the back. We're still green. The 67's chance is right now. Whatever he does, this is going to lead us to the white flag. One more lap to go and we cross the line. The 67 trying to get everything he can to get his first win on the season. He's going to send it. But the 09 blocks all the way down to the checkered pattern, but the 67 isn't having it.
And
the 67 of Alex Anderson. Anderson is still through turn 1, white flag to go. No caution can be called. Whatever is the official results by the end of this. The 67, Alex Anderson, could have a shot of winning his first race on the season, but does he have help? James Thurston goes with the 09. This is terrible for the 67. But everything is going to end here. This lap, he puts him in the wall. The 67 puts the 96 in the wall, trying to use every bitch and every inch of road, trying to get it done. The 25 now sends it to the middle. The 67 is 3 wide middle. But the 09 of Vincent Goetze tries to go through the entire pack. It's the 96, and it's the 09. Does they use the bumpers? The 96 cuts perilously close, and the 67 spins. Heartbreak for Alex Anderson. But glorious day for Vincent Goetze. It's going to be a photo finish at the line. The 09 comes out on top.
Unbelievable. Vincent Goetze wins and Alex Anderson spins from the race lead almost, and he falls down to a lowly 15th position. Not representative of how he ran tonight. Instant replay. Let's find out what happened, because that final lap wreck is what took this man out of contention, and Alex Anderson deserved a shot there, but he got taken away from him as he goes way high there, and you can see they all come through on the static cameras and coming down to the stripe, and the 67 goes around right there, and Chase Schaefer coming right into it. Alex Anderson there as well, and you can see they wreck at the stripe. Once again, an instant replay to show you 15 seconds back, to show you from a different angle what happened to Alex Anderson, and you can see it. Anderson put up into the wall, and that is his race, as Moriarty and the like wreck immediately after. Unbelievable, but one man comes out on top, and that man is a driver of the 09 machine. I don't believe we've seen him this close to the front of the field ever since Lanier last season. For one man, it's triumph, and for many others, it's tragedy, but Vincent Goetze burns it down in Pocono, the final race of the regular season, and he locks himself in to fight for the title once again.
An amazing finish, but heartbreak for the 67 of Alex Anderson, who could have gotten his first win on the season. Is shot down with drivers throughout the rest of the pack, but it's a glorious day for the 09 of Vincent Goetze, who comes out on top here at Pocono.
And Goetze burning it down. River Page, Michael Deitch there as well, and Goetze savoring the moment as he should. A rightful victory for the man on top of this restart, and he played the strategy just right. It's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. And Vincent Goetze, he encapsulates that tonight. What a performance by the man in that 09 machine. Incredible job by an incredible driver, and the 09 comes out on top. He's already despawned from the racing service. Let's try to get him in here. The 09, your race winner. How about that? I don't know how long it's been since we've had a chance to say it, and you take that chance. Vincent Goetze wins at Pocono. How do you feel? You got it done on the overtime.
I don't even know how to feel. I pitted earlier because I had a damaged car, so I kind of was on better tires, and they had a yellow, and I stayed out, and next thing I know, I used the dirty air to my advantage, and I'm the winner.
Unbelievable damage, and older tires and strategy looked like it played in your favor. 12-lap stint to settle it, and you come out in the most preferable position. First, how much do the tires make a difference? Because it looks like even though you stayed on those older ones, you were just able to manage the field like it was nothing.
Yeah, dirty air really does a lot at this track. If you could just fend off the air, you can pretty much keep it out in front, and I knew that when I pitted, I was gonna stay out and just wait to the end, see if there was a yellow and pit with everyone else. But decided to be bold with the strategy. Knew the dirty air would help my advantage if there was a yellow. There was, and it worked out.
And absolutely, it did work out, and it looks like a hard-fought battle nonetheless. Starting up front, were there any concerns going into it that you'd be wrecked immediately because the front of the pack was about as dangerous as the back of it there, and you were still able to manage it, but was there any thought in the back of your mind, perhaps lingering, that these guys would go all the way immediately and that your strategy would come to its end just a bit prematurely?
Yeah, I knew if I let them get too much of a draft off that restart, I had to go really, really early to try and break the draft as much as possible, keep them as far back as possible, and make them stack up to each other. And it paid off.
And paying off it did, and this one locks you in to the Quantum Quest for the Cup. Now, you got a chance to get this championship on your own, and everything's going to be reset going into Monza. It's going to be a road course, no chicanes before we get to this one. And how do you feel about that? Because certainly a different style of racing. The next 4 points paying races, all road courses. How will you navigate those and perhaps come out on top of the twists and turns?
I don't know, man. I just got to get lucky with some strategy calls, and I don't know. Just got to see what happens, because I'm not the greatest at road courses, so I'm going to start in a deep hole, and I got to try and dig myself out of it.
Absolutely. Nonetheless, putting in some momentum right before the championship chase begins. Vincent Guecci coming in on top. Any final thoughts?
I'd like to thank Walker for the paint scheme, and Thurston for not taking me out in the final corner.
Absolutely. James Thurston right there, but it's Vincent Guecci who gets it done. Thank you once again for your time. And there we have it. Guecci, the 09 machine, wins this race. How about the man who came runner-up, and Thurston's been on a tear night after night. James Thurston, 96 machine, second here in Pocono. How do you feel after this one?
I'm just happy there's not controversy as far as I know. I mean, I definitely had a shot there at the end, but yeah, I wouldn't have been able to live with it if I just sent it in there and just made it unfair. But yeah, good race there. I feel like I was super quick. If it went green all the way, probably would have had it, just because of, I had that super big lead there at one point. Just sitting behind Cora Menace for that long run after that just killed the tires. Like, even once I got to the lead, there's nothing I could have done. It just kept going. It just kept getting so tight. Just run after run, just sending it no matter what. And nothing I could really do to save tires. Yeah.
And tires made a big difference. You're right about that. Looking at the timing and scoring here, a 3-lap stint to conclude it for you. And it looks like the tires, nonetheless, not playing in your favor. And dirty air, of course, playing a part as well. Vince Guecci telling us that. And how was it trying to navigate the dirty air in a hope to get that victory? Was it just impossible with so little time and so many drivers crowding each and every line?
Yeah, I mean, he got a great restart there. Even on those older tires, you just pulled away and having to fight just to get there for so long. It just, I never really had a good enough shot to really, do it fairly. I mean, I've already won a bunch in this league. There's no reason for me to go out here and just wreck people for wins. So, yeah, just congrats to him. He definitely deserves it. He ran pretty good there at the end and just got it done.
And getting it done indeed, but still a lot of time to get this championship under wraps. And next week, Monza, going to be the first race in the Quantum Quest here. 16th race of the season. Going to be much different. Next few races are road courses. And it looks like we've seen you out front in a road course time and time once more. An opportunity once again. How will you feel going through it? Trying to make your way to the top of the board before Homestead, our season finale.
I've never driven these cars at Monza before, so we'll see if we can, make a setup or something for there. Probably get some practice in, run some practice sessions for the league. But yeah, it should be a fun race. I don't see why it wouldn't be. There's lots of drafting and passing opportunities. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it'll be a pretty good race.
And looking forward to the remainder of the season, James Thurston, a lot to build on. A great regular season, rounds it out in the second position. Any final thoughts outside of that?
No, not really. Just thankful for finally, a generally clean race. And just yeah, just pretty good race there.
An absolutely pretty good race for James Thurston, second tonight. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
And there we have it. Thurston, second position, and the final driver on the podium tonight. Michael Cormetis has so much to build on. The potential. It's a high ceiling for the man who finishes third here tonight. Still chasing a victory, but Michael Cormetis had the pace to beat, it looked like tonight, fighting James Thurston all the way to the end. It just looks like that final restart might have changed everything for you, and maybe not for the better. Walk us through the final segment of this event.
Hey man, I'm just glad that I'm on here on the podium. It's been a long time since I've been in the top 3, ever since Martinsville, which was 11 rounds ago, and yeah, it's just I really thought I was not going to do great at this track, because this track obviously wasn't really one of my favorites through the whole through the whole week, but I was running up front for the most of the whole race, and had a great battle with James and Alex. That was a good battle. They raced me clean, and I raced them with respect. Hit the wall a few times, just did a few driver mistakes, which is what made them catch up to me. But what really messed me up on that final restart was when I got hit in the pits by Alex, which was probably a racing deal, but I don't know. Trying to process that still, but I'm just glad to be back here on the podium since a long time, but now I'm going to try and chase a win heading into the Quantum Chase for the Cup.
And certainly, what is next is the end goal to come out on top with for the driver of that 25 machine. That championship, all eyes on it, in Monza, going to be next week, 28 laps from the historic track in Italy. How do you feel going into that one, and how will you build off this momentum?
Pretty I'm probably gonna hang around for a little bit. It's the road course, right?
It is indeed the road course. The All-Star race will have the oval.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and drive my hardest, try and push my hardest through Monza, because I love that track. That track's been good to me through not only stock car races, but open wheel races as well. But yeah, so I really like that track, and just gonna have to push for the victory next weekend, or not next weekend, next week.
Pushing for the victory, the name of the game for Michael Cormetis, still chasing win number 1, but the pace tonight, evident that he will get it sometime soon. Thank you for your time. Any final thoughts?
Nope, thank you.
And there we have it. Michael Cormetis, 025 machine, thank you for your time. There we have it. Final driver in the podium, Cormetis in the 25, and there we have it. Any final thoughts, Throttle, before we pull up our race results?
Actually, I have one more interview to conduce I have with the driver of the 24. River Page, I think you had a pretty decent race, but you said you wanted to talk to us. What do you have to say?
I would like to say that was very funny, and I'm a big fan of Aiden Walker.
Start, of course, talking about the incident back in the pack with the intent wreck with Aiden Walker. Can you give us shed some light on us and what happened?
Oh, yeah. So I think basically what happened was a couple laps before that, Conk decided that he would just block Walker to the apron and then drive up and try to make the corner after he had blocked him to the apron, and he kind of put him in the wall, and then Walker got really bad, and he came back out and he just killed him. So that was that, and now it sounds like Conklin wants to report him to iRacing. So that's pretty fun.
So we have major beef, you say?
Major beef. Absolute major beef.
So, a chaotic ending to what was actually pretty calm race for the most part. What are your thoughts on the whole race?
The car was horrible. It was so tight, but I really liked the racing. I was surprised at the end of that run. I don't know if you were watching probably the battle for the lead, but the second group was racing really hard, and it was really fun, even though the car drove horribly.
Mm-hmm. I was paying attention myself. But overall, I think it was a good race, and would you say the same?
I would say the same. It was pretty fun. I'm also a little disappointed that Thurston didn't try harder to pass Vinny. Definitely could have given him a bumper and made the corner, but...
Yeah, but we heard from James Thurston in an earlier interview that he wanted the race him clean, and I think there's respect across the field for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anything else before we drag you back? Anything else you'd like to say?
No, I don't think so.
All right, well, thank you for your time, River Page. We're going to move you back.
Okay, bye.
That would be
David, take
River
it away.
Page. How about it? final interview of the night here, and the results page, we are going to open an incredible race, and it's won by an incredible driver, Vincent Guecci, back on top. We haven't seen him this close to a victory in just about a year, and he gets it done almost a year to the day of our first IORA broadcast. Actually, might be a little more of a month of leeway, but still, he was there on that first race, and he was here tonight, and he showed up in style. Vincent Guecci qualified 6th, finished 1st, and James Thurston from 3rd to 2nd. Michael Cremes rounds out your podium. River Page ends up in 4th, and Sean Rowe finishes out the top 5. Your pole sitter, Sean Conklin, finishes in 6th. Jacob Wilkerson, Aiden Walker, Zach Todger, and Mason Moriarty round out your top 10, and from there on out, Corey Lyles, Greg Kalhoff, Michael Dyke, Chase Schaefer, Alex Anderson, Braxton Whitaker round out the drivers on the lead lap, and Mark Allen Bivens, it looks like, caught up in the last lap wreck, was not able to limp to the line. He's not a retiree. All 17 drivers made it to the stripe in one form or another, and everyone able to stick it out until the checkered flag was reached by your race winner. We will be live in 23 minutes time with the Casey Heschel Chili Bowl. The Highline Racing League's off-season event will start in just a moment's notice. Josh Williams saying let's go 09 and eventually getting that W in chat. So thank you for stopping by, and thank every one of you for stopping by here tonight. We'll be back in just a moment's time for another great live stream, and we hope you enjoy. Any final thoughts for us to round this one off on?
I think tonight's race here at Pocono was a great race. Pocono always provides really good racing in the end. And, well, I think after that, that was probably the cleanest race we've had for a while.
And that it was. Vincent Guecci comes out on top of a very calm race here in Pocono Raceway, the 15th round of the IORA Cup Series season. And we will see you all very soon. And we hope to have you once again watching live on FTN. We will be back, and we hope you enjoy it when we return in just a moment's time. Thank you all. We hope you have a great night. We are just getting started.